Okay, so all right, this is the last part of my six-part sort of targeted individual clarity video, and for the last part, I just wanted you to recall everything we've gone through, everything we've talked about. Do you remember this here, the pie chart that we had of the differing targeted individual sections? And then do you remember the part where at the bottom I say that every time, every target that learns more either goes into a new section or the next section, section 2, it becomes more educated, or goes into a mental health ward or disappears, or he gets killed, or he commits suicide, or he, in a lot of cases, will come back and stay a section 1 person because he's fooled and he's flipped. So I'll have a target that I'm talking to last year, or let's just say, for example, and this has happened to me quite a lot of times, where a target comes and asks me a bunch of questions about his or her targeting, and I'll answer them completely and fully. And in about 6 months or a year from then, he'll come back and then ask me the exact same questions in a slightly different context, but the same bloody questions. And that just shows you that they're looping. It's almost in the same way as you're trying to instruct a child or your parent or whatnot, that you try to explain a point to them, a family member or whatnot, and then you get your point across, and then a month or two later, the same topic arises as if the person in your family or whatnot didn't listen to the point the first time, made up something else in their minds after the arguments or the conversation, and then came back seemingly, I don't know, as if they made something else up for themselves after the conversation and are now still stuck there. Now that sort of mental cognitive loop that I was talking about over here, your cognitive emotive loop, or just your cognitive loop, and then the feedback loop at the bottom that I say AI is capable of taking advantage of, as well as the community and learning about what's happening to you as a target while being interrupted by this AI. You get this spinny process that's molding and confusing, stressful, torturous, and it just keeps on going. And that's what this 24/7 torture harassment is. And it doesn't matter what format it takes, in terms of whether it's your religious beliefs that you're arguing with through V2K, or your Morgellons, or you stop, or your neighbors, or it doesn't matter what form it takes. It's brainwashing, it's mind control, and they're doing it on purpose. All right. The topic of what is happening to you, the topic, the actual what's happening, what they're saying, what they're doing, isn't what's important. What's important is the emotion of it. The emotion of you learning more, learning less, staying in a loop, learning more, learning less, staying in a loop, hurting more, hurting less, staying in a loop. And very slowly, as you lose your job, your career, everything, they also force your focus, like I said earlier, so that you focused on them like horse blinkers through this V2K, through your paranoia. You're so obsessed and focused about them that they can hypnosis you more. And that's what mind control is. That's what hypnosis is. And that's why I'm coming to show you this conclusion. Just remember the transfer of people coming into sections and disappearing and whatnot. And then we get to our conclusion. The people that are doing this are recursive. So they spin like that. They loop like that on topics and whatnot, or give you a job, take away the job, make neighbors attack you, stop the neighbors from attacking you. But like generally you're losing and you're spiraling. In your head, when you have those conversations, your emotions, they're manipulating your emotions, and they're just trying to cognitively dissonance you and flip you. But they will always stay on, recursive and constant. I would suggest giving recursiveness a look, because that's exactly what they need to do. In that feedback loop that you have in your mind that they're busy attacking, you are absorbing, like when you're studying a textbook and you reread a line or you memorize something, you're absorbing stuff. So as long as they're constantly in your head V2King you and constantly spinning you, you're absorbing, and that's what they want. They want to control that process. So they are recursive. Research both the meaning and the computer meaning of the word, because it's very useful. They are constant, Because mind control, this V2K, allows them to freely, consistently attack you. In the spinny process that you're going through, see the center of the screen? It's literally that. If you can imagine your emotions in your life and them constantly playing with your livelihood, it feels like this constant spin of harassment and torture, and that's because it is. So, yeah, because it's V2K and it's constant, they can just keep it on and let a computer do it, and take yesterday's or last week's stuff that you said, and then replay it on you, and then you do something, and then they'll take that yesterday's stuff, replay it on you, and they'll just do whatever they can to just keep spinning, and the AI will do it automatically, and you will naturally adopt this and slowly become mesmerized or mind controlled, even if you don't want to. Your subconscious will take it on. Now, people who understand this process, like me, we won't be, but you'll forever be suffocated because they won't stop. So, long story short, they have consciousness mapped, and I mean, in terms of like my paradigm versus your paradigm, like my psychology versus your psychology, they have both of you. They're both you and me recorded as an example, and about 1 million, probably up to many millions of people's paradigms. Sorry for the background noise, but like from differing life aspects. They've got a computer that's seeing the differences between me and you, and like marrying them in a sort of like going from me to you in a sort of like spectrum of color. Like that's how well they have consciousness mapped in a computer, and that's what they spin you on and whatnot. The AI supercomputer, it's more intelligent than a single human being, spinning you around in your head, and that intelligence, that AI, that super computing intelligence, what's the name? I think that the owner of Tesla, what was his name again? Give me a second. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, Elon Musk, even he says, mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes. And there's a video of him, and I'm not going to try to look for it now, but there's a video of him saying that it is capable of like what 1 million people could do, a single AI, and that's what I'm talking about. It's got human consciousness mapped, and then all of our intellect. It's literally got a plug-in directly, thanks to this frequency, directly to the human brain, and they've got this supercomputer machine that's just got every situation and every person's mentality towards that situation on planet Earth for the past 15 years at least. So it's gotten quite hectic. You are being feedback looped on an inner thought level that feels like torture / harassment to you, because normally you'd be free of this. Not free. You'd be unimpeded, but because you're not unimpeded anymore, you feel uncomfortable, you feel tortured, you feel harassed, and that's when they're being sort of covert. When they're being overt about it, then it's 100% torture and harassment. Our target individual groups are being looped in disinfo and divided, and just like you are being looped with the same techniques that your conscious loop is being hit by strange emotions and your V2Ks bringing up topics that emotionally get under your skin and then also sort of help you, and then they'll just it's like digging at a scab, like or redigging into a wound. That they have that spinny, torturous effect, and that's what they're doing that's how they socially engineer as well. The target individual group is being sent perps and disinformation that continuously spins them and makes them confused about what's going on and what the topic is. They forget that they're actually under mind control. They forget that it's just mind control, and then they start talking about nanobots, and then they start talking about something else. But at the end of the day, the larger majority of the group is already quiet, and we already know that it's mind control and it's really bad. And a lot of this is social disinformation. But at the same time, as soon as we say, that's disinformation, they actually go and physically harm someone with a nanobot or something, and then now they actually make the lie real, and then and they do stuff like that with, now it's lasers. Now they have lasers. Lasers are quite recent as well. But anyway, disinfo and divided. Yes, it divides us. Everyone goes and runs around. The perps get what they want, and the social groups that we formed break up. Like the feedback loops in our head break up, and then they can mix us again, stir the pot, and that's what you're seeing in the center of the screen, on a community level. Okay, so they've got just socializing in general, and the mind. 100%. They've got the tools and mechanics and the psychology to spin you around and to mess with us and just to throw us around because we're nothing, and that's their jobs. But anyway, recall the red text I mentioned. That's why that's a spinning process. Some of us go around the big end of the loop and understand it, and then we get thrown into the deep end, and we get tortured, and just this whole feedback loop spin that we're going through. Our media is feeding us looped rubbish. Same crap. If you look at all that false news, just spinning up Facebook, your Facebook news feed, spinning up your daughter's, your son's Facebook news feed, confusing their minds, completing not only adding this I don't know what's going on with the world anymore sort of feeling, which makes them vulnerable, but also this I don't want to be involved, which makes them even more vulnerable. So they keep everything mixed and stirred and loose, you know. Our media is feeding us looped rubbish that progresses at a pace government wants. Your Facebook newsfeed is a delicate loop of things that you like and dislike, and then about on the seventh post of newsfeed, you'll see puppies, or you'll see outdooring or something, or camping, and then you'll feel happy again, and you're just being spun this whole time on this freaking newsfeed, and you don't understand it. There's an algorithm behind that, and it's doing it on purpose. It's already psychologically analyzed your social group and the way you talk to each other, to everyone, and it's feeding you this because it knows you're that type of person. Anyway, so what's effectively going on to both you and your communities as country is the NWO control-based mechanic below. Admit being feedback loop 24/7, admit being tortured, harassed. It looks like this from the top down on you, quite obviously. So now, if you guys know all the tricks of the trade, and you're now the people sitting, doing the stirring. This is what it would look like to like as you're looking at it from the top. You're stirring all the politics. Your AI algorithms are stirring people's minds, you know, and every new problem that comes from a single individual, the AI already has an answer for, and you just clicked play and you just watched it stir people, and that's what it does. All the twisting of morals and beliefs, whether you're innocent or guilty, you know, whether you're a good person or whether you have good faith in God, or if you're non-religious, you know. It doesn't matter. Whether you had a drug history or not, whether you went to a hospital or not, all of that is just for the purposes of spinning. It's got nothing to do with these people being on your case. These people who are doing this are the sick ones. They're the bad people, and you shouldn't feel anything towards them. They're the worst people on the planet. I think the worst conscious human beings to ever, or the worst human beings in general to ever exist in humanity's history, are behind this huge sick world genocidal phenomenon. But anyway, let's carry on. All the promises and the lies, they give you lots of promises and lies to read, okay? All the drama 24/7 until you are gone, either mentally or physically. So you've either drained completely out mentally and you're completely hypnotized. And let's have a quick look at hypnotism quickly, just so you can recall it. Sorry. Hypnotic induction is the process undertaken by a hypnotist to establish the state of conditions required for the hypnosis to occur. So that's when they monitor you before they attack you. They monitor your psyche, and they send gang stalkers in to establish the conditions required for their play. their AIs play on you, whether that be a religious play, a Morgellons play, an implant play. It accurately identifies that, or a Manchurian play even. So hypnosis is a human condition involving focused attention. That's why they focus you, and they keep you in your attention. Reduced peripheral awareness, and that's exactly what I told you about. And an enhanced capacity to respond to suggestion. And then while their peripherals pushed you out, and then those voices, those echoing voices, remove your peripheral vision, your spatial awareness, they hit you with straight up V2K, and they swear at you, or they do violent things in your face through gang stalkers or whatnot, and that makes you respond to them psychologically through this telepathy, and they get data from that, and they'll use that data against you for further mind control. But anyway, let's carry on. That's what AI via mind control is doing to you over time, and you know it. You can feel it over the years. You can feel the change. If you go down your Facebook history while you were fighting and struggling through this, and you see that how you've transitioned over the years, from each post each month, you'll see your psychological difference, and you won't be allowed to remember them in anger and hatred. They take that away from you. You know that they've stolen your time. They know that that they've stolen your years, but you can't look back and actually feel hatred, because they've actually taken that out. They've stopped you from feeling that. They removed it through the signal. They blank it out. All right. So you're not even responding to the situation like you should. But anyway, students slow you down, speed you up. They can slow down your thought process. They can speed up your thought process. They practice lying on you. Subject creation. Because even though the AI does it for them, there still needs to be some sort of hands-on experience, some sort of hands-on practice, and that's why I say students, because they hire psychology students out of uni. They force them into this mind control of the world NWO thing, and then that's why they make a lot of targeted individuals, because we become practice for these students. And generally, the people torturing me are in their 25s and above. Probably maybe 1 or 2 years lower than 25, sometimes 23, 25, but generally around that ballpark. And they all practice on me, and I've learned all this stuff because I could see them repeating practice techniques on me while I could see them through their psychological mind control, in a sense that I can understand the psychological effects, because I'm a programmer and I'm very logical. I write programs, so I can feel their program, their setup, like you could feel, a process in the post office where you have to follow a set amount of processes with the stamp and whatnot. I can feel that process through the mind control because they're practicing using students. But anyway, subject creation, and that's why I'm writing it here. Skill up their general cognitive alertness. They need to be really fast and sharp because they're reading very inner thoughts, and they need to reply and respond very quickly to yours. And speed, with a lot of speed, using you connected to this AI as practice for everyone else to be mind controlled as time goes on. So they're working with this AI, trying to wield it on you, which is a very complex task, and the AI does a lot of work for them. And then after they're done with you, they go to someone else to be mind controlled, but this time they have more skills. They've worked on you, and they also had someone else. Then they had a hobo, a homeless person, and then they were working on a rich and wealthy guy. So in the past 6 months they've been working on you. They've been working on like 4 or 5 other people in real life who are targeted individuals, and they've gotten all this experience from all those different paradigms. And now when they go and attack someone or go and mind control someone else, they have all that experience, and they're building that sort of army, that sort of staff force all around the world. And that's why there's targets all around the world. And that's the whole thing. And they don't care if you die on the other end. They'll watch you die. They'll watch through your mind, through this telepathy connection. They'll watch you die. They'll laugh at you while you die. It's crazy. Doing whatever they want with your mind, and family, just friends, taking antipsychotics will only kill your mind faster, and that's why they're there. This antipsychotics in the institutions will kill your own personal feedback loop, the one that you've created in your sanity, in your good health, in your freedom. And antipsychotics will destroy that, and while that's being chemically destroyed, the forced mind control will still be there, forcing a new one into you that's not yours. And that's what they do to kids, because they haven't grown up and enough, and haven't grown up to a proper age where they can say that they know themselves, and they haven't created a proper identity around that conscious loop of theirs. So it's easy for them to get mind controlled at a young age, and that's what we're seeing. So now I want you to take that and I want you to apply that to the community. And remember our pie chart here that I drew with the colors and I separated them in different sections. Then an overview of that on a TI community level. So take this hypnosis, this of you as on a personal level, this spinning of your conscious loop, this harassment, and then think about it on a TI community level. That's hitting. Remember the red text? Yeah, that's making TIs come into certain beliefs, and then perps sending out false posts, and then they come out of those beliefs and they go into other ones, and they're just churning this pot. And they've got a computer analyzing the entire targeted individual community. When I'm in trouble and I get targeted, I get all these TIs talking to me all of a sudden through personal IM Messenger and Facebook Messenger, and I know that they wouldn't have talked to me if the people targeting me didn't have any influence on them. Because all of a sudden my Facebook shoots up filled with targeted individuals posting to me and talking to me. But they didn't do that for the past 2 months. But now they are, because I'm in an especially bad state from the torture in life. And that just shows me they're controlled. Even if they don't know it, they're influenced to talk to me. And they're being spun on all these politics. And this little thing in their own heads, this little spin, is already taking over to a point where they don't even know that they're talking to me because of someone else's suggestion, someone else's influence, someone else's agenda. And they're really perfectly healthy TIs. So on a community level, they've got the social engineering keys and psychological keys to churn the community, like this pie chart, in motion, such that no one gets out of anything. No one makes friends. No groups form. Nothing escapes, and everyone just spins and churns, just like the mind control that's hitting us independently, on our own. Independently. This control is exactly why nothing big has happened in the TI community. AI doesn't need to rest and extend and you can extend this further to on like a city-country level. You can apply the same spinning to the police system and the prison system, where prisoners come in and don't know why they're there. There's a system that's supposed to help them, but the system that those are all for show, and you actually just get smiled into the prison very slowly, like psychologically tricking you. And there's this. They have these systems everywhere, in law, in police, in medicine, and everything, and they're watching it all, and they've got it controlled to such a degree that if I understand this, I got to go swallow mental pills or live a horrible life of torture. And if it's gotten to such a point now that the kids who grow up and get into high school, get into primary school, are getting hit by this V2K. The university students are already. There's tons of university targeted individuals. They go crazy. They're absolutely. They all their freedom, all their future hopes, the financial loan or the student loan or the money from the parents is thrown away, and now they can't say anything about it because they're the mental case, and they also have to lose. They have to stop studying because they're forced to because of the torture and harassment. So it's insane. So the kids younger than university students who haven't even formed those dreams yet, they're still in high school talking about their favorite colors in crayons and pens and whatnot. They're getting hit by this on a level that when they grow up, they are not themselves. They are more mind controlled than the TI community, than some of the TI, or most of the TI community is, and they don't stand a chance. And that's what's happening. That's how AI has robotically enabled NWO. That they have a firm hand on Milgram. So the people doing this live Milgram's theory, and you got to give Milgram's theory a look. It's the epitome of lack of humanity, like human ethics, human morals. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, but that's what they do. People not connected still think there's a system, and that's how they keep the thing going. So right at the end, I just want to summarize. I want to leave off by explaining their mentality. Do you understand why it's a bit slangy, but that's how I want to end it because I'm so pissed by it. But you understand why they are all cocky enough to use an eye now, because they're all reading our bloody heads, and they have AI that's a thought machine for them. They don't even need to think anymore. They can just use the AI to do it. So they cockily have an eye because it makes us scared, that they can see us. But I'm not. But even if I'm innocent, that's not the point. They're still going to take you out. Because they've been sitting there investing in the shit a while, having the freedom of reading and controlling everyone's minds, and they've done disgusting things with this. They've even tried hooking me up with women. They make women come up to me. I'm not particularly good looking, but these women come up to me and they hit on me, and I can see it in their eyes. They don't know why they like me. They just want to go home with me, and I decline all of them. But that just they literally show me through mind control that they can get me any girl I want. And because you've been tortured for 3 years and you haven't done anything sexually, because I won't. I'm being tortured by mind control. Let's just give you a free handout, and then they mind control a girl to come try and jump on me, get laid or something. So that's the lack of respect they have for your fellow human being after all their corruption. But anyway, mind control you to kill, mate, there we go, sleep, and even exist. It's already doing so, and they don't need to hire people to do the dirty work anymore. They've got AI to do it. They have intelligence, even creativity monopolized globally. AI is creative. It's more creative than any human being. When I say something's more intelligent than a million people, and Elon Musk tells you the same thing, AI is more intelligent. It doesn't mean it's just smarter. It means it's everything. It's more creative, more beautiful, more ugly, more disgusting, more everything. Monopolized globally. So even new ideas and stuff, it does. Your celebs like Jay-Z, ETC didn't show you the triangle on stage for nothing. Jay-Z and Beyonce were doing all of that for a reason. Then you had Tupac and all of them talking about kill Illuminati and all that crap. And then you had System of a Down with mind control. And that was back when music was real. And then all of a sudden, bam, we had Justin Bieber, and then electronic music, and then now we don't see free music anymore, or it's rare, or the secrets are, well, the truth that they sing, the truth that they sing through their words is far more undernoted and undertoned, which is obviously controlled. But anyway, just like movies and just like series and the internet and whatever. Here we go. And the news. Mind control is real, especially now that we have AI. So we have the birth of a God complex. So this here is the birth of a God complex. If I can control everyone's minds, I can see all their heads, I can do what I want. I'm already super rich. I've already cornered the market. The top 1%, the top 10% is with us. We're gods. We can go and have sex with anyone. We can go and rape anyone. We can go and kill anyone. We can go and buy anything, live anything. If I want to listen, if I felt like being a hobo tomorrow, I would mind control connect to a synthetic celebrity, connect to a hobo, and I'll see how it feels being a hobo, and then I'll just stop. If I want to, I'll just kill him, and I experience that. Wow, what sadness! And that's what they do, like literally, that's what they do. It's a God complex. People with the technology to reach or send you thoughts don't need to do anything. They just read your thoughts and try to impose their reality on you regardless of rationality. They have AI as raw intellect and don't need your ideas or the university's ideas. All those theses and all that crap, that whole lockdown is all fake. They don't need university students. Even the whole idea that universities release the most cutting edge science when they say MIT students did this and Yale students did that. Dude, we're talking about 40-year-old, 30-year-old military level scientists that work for our governments and our militaries. Why do you think your latest news comes from a 20-year-old punk rock student at MIT? It doesn't. It never has. That's all just controlled. They've actually controlled where you think new technology comes from. How ridiculous. Anyway, they will stupefy the human race, like I said, so that they can escape with what they have done already, as well as maintain that triangle of power. They even left past continental differences aside in terms of like China versus America, UK versus whatever, Russia, blah blah blah. All those continental hate, and then they all just targeted Middle East so they can all just drop bombs and stuff and have fun and sell weapons. They as targeted individuals, no matter where we go around the world, this globally installed telepathy network that they have with satellites will stay connected to us. And I've traveled around the world already, and I've got so many other TIA friends who've traveled around the world. They've gone to remote locations. I've gone to remote locations. It's 100% globally installed. So they're so god complexy and whatnot, and they're so sure of this technology and this phenomena they want to bring out, this reign of power, the New World Order, that they will ignore their prior country's hate and just share in each other's wealth and stay that circle. And that's exactly what we're seeing. They even left past experience and forced this down on humanity as a whole. TIs have tried going to many countries only to be shared as slaves by the country they changed to, or the country that they've changed to allows access for the old country to continue V2King you in their country. And that happened to me quite a few times. I'm in Hong Kong right now, and I'm targeted by Australia and UK. My family here in Hong Kong when I ran here is Cantonese, so they had to get the Hong Kong network to properly V2K and shut down my family here, and mind control my family here in Cantonese. So that probably took the Hong Kong team. And then for me personally, it was the UK interrogated me when I got here, so it was UK. And then after about a year or two of me constantly being tortured and being extremely difficult for them to torture, they got other countries involved to just come and see the mess that they made, like Australia, because I was talking to a lot of Australian TIs. So I think the NWO sex group in Australia decided to come and say hi to me for educating some of their Australian TIs. And that's happened a few times. When I landed in Helsinki, on a lay-by from UK to Hong Kong, the guys in Helsinki actually spoke to me through V2K in the airport while I was on the lay-by, and they were quite nice people, really mannered people. I liked Helsinki a lot, or I liked the V2K team that there. And it sounds a bit weird, I know, but I did enjoy hearing them. And there are countries where I hear some targets get really good treatment by their government, even though they're being V2K'd, and that's probably got to do with political and cultural reasons. Like Pakistan's very probably Islamic or Muslim or something. I'm not sure which religion it is, but because of those long-standing traditions, that some of the women get better respect, than say an American woman would. There are cultural balances, but they're all pretty terrible in general. But yeah. My personal conclusion, that's a long one. You guys can download the presentation and read that. It's just basically me ranting and raving about it, and I just want to show you guys, I want you to be able to see how strongly depressing and sick this situation actually is, as opposed to just reading formal documents. But my presentation is available on the link that I shared. I think it's under every single video on YouTube. And here it is. And thank you for watching and all that. If you have any questions, just pop them up in the bottom of the YouTube videos. Support the targeted individual community. Keep trying. Make videos yourselves. I'll just link them on my comments, and I'll check, and if they're accurate enough, I'll leave them alone, and just try and keep the community strong and intelligent. Well, not intelligent, clear thinking, and rational. And that's what I want to see. But yeah, all the best. Keep safe. I hope this all, it gets exposed, and these people are brought to justice, I guess.